You've got this tiny seed, right? It gets buried in the dark. Maybe it's upside down, maybe it's sideways, but somehow it always knows which way is up. It's a puzzle that has fascinated people forever, even Charles Darwin. So today, we are going to solve it. Let's do this.
No, seriously, how does that work? Plants don't have eyes or ears, they definitely don't have a brain, so how do they get their bearings? It almost seems like they must have some kind of secret compass inside, pointing the stem to the sun and the roots down into the dirt. And you know what? That's actually not too far from the truth. So here's our game plan for uncovering this plant superpower. First, we'll check out that secret compass. Then, we're going to peek inside its cells to find these tiny little snow globes. Yeah, you heard me right. We'll meet the growth boss hormone. And then, we'll get to the big plot twist of why shoots and roots go in opposite directions. We'll even take a quick trip to space before we look at what puzzles are still left to figure out. Okay, so this incredible ability has a big science name, gravitropism. I know, it's a bit of a mouthful, but it just means gravity turning. It's how a plant controls its growth in response to gravity's pull. And here's the really important part. It's not like the whole plant just bends over. It's about new parts of the plant growing in a very specific, directed way. Yup, you heard that right. Plants can literally feel gravity. And this amazing sense tells their roots to grow with gravity. That's called positive gravitropism. At the same time, it tells their stems to grow against gravity, which we call negative gravitropism. You've totally seen this in action if you've ever had a potted plant fall over. After a couple of days, you'll see the stems start to curve and grow upwards again, reaching for that light. So the big question is, how on earth does a plant actually sense gravity? To find our first clue, we need to zoom in, way in, past the stem, past the tissues, and right into a single, specialized plant cell. And this, my friends, is where things get super cool. All right, to get what's happening, I want you to picture a tiny little snow globe. You know the kind I'm talking about? You give it a good shake and watch all the little glittery bits float down to the bottom. Okay, now imagine that snow globe is microscopic, and it's living inside a special plant cell called a statocyte. These are the plant's dedicated gravity-sensing cells. You can find them in the very tips of the roots and up in the shoots.
So the snow in our little cell-sized snow globe isn't actually snow. It's made of these tiny, super heavy grains of starch called statoliths. Just think of them as little pebbles floating around in the jello-like stuff inside the cell. And because they're so dense, gravity pulls on them like a lot.
So just like the glitter in a snow globe, it doesn't matter which way the cell turns. These heavy statoliths will always tumble down and settle at whatever part of the cell is the new bottom. This sends a super clear physical signal that basically says, hey, this way is down. How smart is that? And get this isn't just some cute story we're telling. It's 100% real biology. Just look at this actual microscope image of a plant stem. You see them? Those little dark purple blobs that the arrow's pointing to? Those are the real deal. Those are the statoliths, our starchy snow, all settled at the bottom of the cells, doing their thing. Okay, so the plant knows which way is down. Awesome. But how does that information from a few tiny cells actually turn into action? How does it tell the rest of the plant where to grow? For that, we need to meet the messenger. Let's just call it the growth boss.
The real name for our growth boss is auxin, and auxin is one of the most important hormones in a plant's entire life. Its main gig is to tell cells when to grow and how much to stretch out. You can kind of think of it as the foreman on a construction site, shouting orders at the work crews, the cells, telling them to either build faster or take a break. And here is where it all connects. When a plant gets tipped over, those statoliths settle on the new bottom of the sensor cells, right? Well, that triggers a response. The plant starts pumping auxin, so it all pulls together along the lower side of both the stem and the root. So now the bottom of the plant is flooded with this growth boss hormone. But wait a second. If auxin builds up on the bottom side of both the shoot and the root, why don't they both just bend the same way? This is where we get to the big reveal. The absolutely brilliant plot twist that makes this whole system work. You ready for this? So let's just run through that one more time. The plant gets knocked over. The little internal snow globes, the statoliths, they all settle down. The growth boss, auxin, rushes to that new bottom side. Everything is now set for the final command. But that command is going to be very, very different depending on where it's received.
And here it is. The big twist is that shoots and roots respond to the exact same hormone in the complete opposite way. So in the shoot, a ton of auxin is like shouting, go, go, go. It puts cell growth into overdrive. So the bottom side of the stem grows way faster than the top side, causing the whole shoot to bend upwards, away from gravity. But, and this is the genius part, in the roots, all that auxin is like slamming on the brakes. It actually stops cell growth. So the cells on the top of the root, where there's less auxin, grow faster than the bottom, and that makes the root bend downwards, toward gravity. It's such a brilliant solution. One signal, two totally opposite results. Mind blown.
For millions of years, this system has worked perfectly here on Earth, where gravity is always a thing. But what happens if you take a plant somewhere the rules are totally different, like, say, space? Well, that is a whole new challenge.
I mean, what does happen when you try to grow a plant in space? Up on the International Space Station, there is no down. Those statoliths can't settle. They just float around. The plant's secret compass is officially broken. So, what does it do? Does it just give up and grow into a confused, squiggly mess? Nope, not at all. In space, plants just get creative and switch to their backup systems. Light becomes the main signal for which way to grow. See, roots have this natural tendency to grow away from light, so astronauts can use a light to help guide the roots. But without that clear gravity signal, some plants do get a little lost, and their roots can grow in these crazy, disorganized spirals. And here's another fascinating little tidbit from the ISS. You can't just blast the plant with light from all directions. It needs a gradient, a clear, hey, the light is over here, or it just gets confused all over again.
So we've pretty much cracked the main puzzle. Plants use tiny, heavy starch grains to sense gravity. That tells a growth hormone where to go, and that hormone does the exact opposite thing in shoots and roots. It's a really elegant system, but like all great science, answering one question just opens up a bunch of new ones. The puzzle isn't totally complete just yet.
This is what really has scientists hooked. They've studied these special mutant plants that literally can't make starch. So without those heavy statoliths, you'd think their gravity sensing would be completely broken, right? Well, it's not. They can still figure out which way is down. It just takes them a lot longer to do it. This is a massive clue that plants have another, slower, backup gravity sensing system that we still don't fully understand.
And that just goes to show you the world around us is just packed with incredible secrets. So the next time you see a flower pushing its way up through the sidewalk or a tree clinging to the side of a cliff, you'll know all about the tiny snow globes and clever hormones making it all happen. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other secret powers are plants hiding right under our noses?